Of course, you always hear the advice to stop always taking advice from everybody. And of course, I knew that deep down. But honestly, recently, I've never felt that more than ever, honestly. So, as you guys know, Valentine's Day just happened, and I now have a girlfriend. I've had a girlfriend now for like 2 weeks now, but we were talking for months before then. But now I officially made her my girlfriend. And now that I have a girlfriend, honestly, that comes with a lot of attention, way more than I had before when I was single. And now that I'm in this relationship and people know that I'm in a relationship, I feel like a lot of people tend to have advice and wisdom and things that they want to tell me to do in my relationship. And they want me to feel like if I'm not doing it, I'm not a good person. And I've learned that a lot recently now, too, especially with Valentine's Day that just passed. It's definitely been quite a series of events because for me, so Valentine's Day was on the 14th, which was Saturday, and then my girlfriend's birthday is actually February 15th, which is Sunday, the day after. So I celebrated Valentine's Day and her birthday in the same weekend. And that was definitely new, but it was still fun. I got her, good gifts, went out to eat, did things, stuff like that. But as other people who want to know so much about my relationship, um, they want to give me so much advice on what to do. Like some people are saying like, "Oh, you should have done this instead," or "Oh, some people are like, you should have got her more," or "Oh, you should have did this, you should have did that, you should have bought that." And as I'm hearing these people, I'm looking at them and I'm like, "Well," and I'm asking them too, "Well, what did you do on Valentine's Day?" "Oh, I just chilled at home by myself." Ah, I see. you know, Not to say it's bad to be single, but it's more so like you're telling me all these things that like you think I should do for someone. However, you're not getting them or doing them to someone else currently. And I think, there's nothing wrong with the things that you want if that's what you want. However, I do know with my relationship and the way that I do things that some of the stuff that people were telling me, like, I'm just not gonna do, I'll be honest, because that's not my relationship. And my girlfriend knows that and she doesn't care. And if she was the type of girl who wanted all these different things and you know was like that, I wouldn't be with her because I see a lot of things on social media. And honestly, this was like weird too because there's girls and stuff I see on social media that be demanding stuff that I really don't see these type of women in real life. So I'm kind of blessed for that. But you'll see this woman who like expects you to pay for everything on all the time and to buy them purses and give all effort and energy while she can just chill. And you got to take her on 3 dates a week and 2 vacations every 3 months. Like all these weird stigmas and rules that honestly aren't realistic. You know, like even if someone did do that, they're probably like really already rich, like an athlete or something. And honestly, I think too, those type of relationships don't last long either because you're just focused so much on like material things and not a genuine connection with each other. And I see that now too with people around me, sometimes at my job or just anywhere where people want me to do all these things in a relationship, even though they're not in a relationship either, that I can really look up to and say, oh, like, yeah, I want to be like y'all. So I've been learning that a lot recently. So definitely keep my relationship a little bit more private and not explain everything that I'm doing. Because no matter what I say, people are gonna either say you're not doing enough, or it's not good enough, or whatever they want to say. And I've learned that now, especially recently, because people really all want to try to help you in a way. However, for me, it's not really about that. Like in my opinion, a relationship is a lot more than just how much money you spend and the quality type of things that you get someone. It's more than that, honestly. Like it dives way deeper than that. And I think a lot of people in relationships nowadays in 2026, they tend to lose the plot of what dating can be and how relationships are actually meaningful and work. And I think that's why dating is so bad now in this generation and time frame because of the way people's minds are set on dating and how the culture is really set now. And I definitely plan to make more videos talking about dating because dating is definitely such an interesting topic. And I plan to go way more in depth in future videos, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, Like a lot of people that I talk to who honestly who are giving me the advice, a lot of them are single. They're giving me more advice than the people who are in relationships. And I think the people who are in relationships, they're not giving much advice because they know, like, hey, like, it's your relationship. Like, I know what you're dealing with. I know what you're trying to do, and I've been there. So that's why I'm not gonna say anything because they know like that's their relationship and they know what works for them, and I know what works for me too. And just because the things that I do works for me, it might not work for you, and that's okay because not every relationship was meant to be the same exact way. That's not the whole point. It was to establish different things with each other and build a meaningful connection in the way that you guys would experience it. And so I think that's the biggest thing is, staying away from people with, you know, their advice of things who aren't in the position that I want to be in. And that's not even just with relationships. That's with anything in life, because how can you give me that advice if you've never really been there? It's really hard because you're not going to be able to go through the same thing that I'm going through. And I've learned that full heartedly. And I think that's something that I definitely want to keep aligned with myself, especially too now with dating advice, having a girlfriend now and seeing just like what it can do. Because when you have a girlfriend, like, at least from my experience, I don't know if this is for every man out there, but like your attention just amplifies. More women want you. Like, you're in the spotlight a lot more. People are constantly trying to get for you. And I think you're really battle tested a lot more than when you're single. It's almost like women can tell like that you're in a relationship and like you're chilling because they know a girl's with you. And maybe I'm tripping. That could just be me, but definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, like relationships can definitely be tricky and they have their ups and downs. But people kind of have ruined the term of how relationships go, and it's definitely upsetting, especially with like dating apps and stuff like this because that sucks. And we'll have a whole nother video about that. But yeah, just you know, keep that in mind with everything going on because you don't want to take the wrong advice. I've definitely taken wrong advice in the past, especially in dating. And now I've learned to be myself, be my authentic self, do the things that I want to do, and you know, be willing to come together with someone else and find the right boundaries, the right guidelines, and go from there. But hey, we'll see where the future takes us, and we'll just keep moving.